Virgo, how's it going? You could be from Australia. I always seem to pick up Australian accents when I do your reading. So anyway, you could be from Australia, or you're dating someone from Australia, or something like that, or you could be from the land down under. Anyway, or Dan, and we're hearing Dan, Danielle, Danny Glover, Life Path 7. Can't take this anymore. I don't know if someone is walking out the door. It could be dealing with a DAW or a Dan, and something to do with in the door, out the door, in the door. A Gemini or a Capricorn. I deal in numerology, so when you hear me saying like a Gemini or a Capricorn, it's because they're sixes, okay? So Virgo, you're a bit like me. I'm a Pisces, but I do have a load of Virgo in my chart. But we're individual. We're on our own because we are just a number 9, baby. That's all we are. So there is no other star sign that represents a 9 apart from just Virgo. You're an individual, Virgo. That's why we're special, right? So anyway, so let's see. A few channel messages before we start. The love of my life. I keep hearing the song. Love of my life, don't leave me. Lee, Laura, Lucy, Lucifer. You've broken my heart, but now I need you. Love of my life, can't you see, Lucy? So I think that someone's like, please don't leave me, please don't go. So I think that you've got like a very tight bond with someone at the moment, or James Bond. But like, I don't know if any of you are considering leaving and walking out the door, and as you do, someone stops you from going and doesn't want you to leave and doesn't want you to go. Okay. Like this, please don't go. Or like, it's kind of like, I don't want to leave you. Like, I don't want to leave you and I'm not going to leave you. Okay. So there's some kind of message that is around this energy of like love of my life. So it could be doing around a Gemini. I think I did call the last reading, I did that actually, and it's kind of coming up in your reading. The last reading that was called that is, I can't remember, I think it was Sagittarius. So if you are a Sag, a Life Path 5 or Taurus, it's kind of representing that kind of reading there. Okay. Love of my life, please don't leave me. Please don't go. So I don't know if any of you have threatened to walk out the door, okay, or that you want to end something here, or Mendez. I'm hearing Mendez, Mandy, Mendez, Emily, Melissa, Maria, Michael, Jackson, Julian, Jason, Justin, Jackie, Jasmine, Jack, Jumping Jack, Flash, Frost, Cop Frost, Life Path number 9, N-Gen, Jennifer, number 9. Let's see. Not getting any clear signals. Claire, signal. Some of you could be mixing and mastering and do things around music, because it's just come up in my head that there's a VST. You know, I do Angel Radio, right? And you know that I'm a music producer. Well, when I do Angel Radio and I make it, there is a VST called Signal. So it's kind of making me feel like there's some kind of like music references here of someone that might do their own music or make their own music, or I don't know, guitar, synthesizers, recording contracts, all this sort of stuff is what I'm picking up. Making your own or just singing or doing it, but what's that? All I want to do it is Eyeball Paula, Pucci, Piscean. Can't pick up anything clear for you, Virgo. Nothing seems to be coming through. Love of my life. Some of you have got the one. Okay, the one good one. I've got one good one and I'm keeping hold of it and I ain't letting it go. Could be a Stephen, but I'm letting one. I've got hold of it and I'm not letting it go. Okay. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go. Go on, let it go. Let it go to Tesco. Someone might work at a supermarket store. Someone could be in a same-sex relationship. Here in Dale Winton. So the name Dale, Dan, Winton, supermarket sweep. Some of you might work in a supermarket. Okay. The supermarket sweep. Some of you might be doing sweepstakes. Okay, some of you could be eating steak. You might be on a vagina diet, but you might be on a. So Jennifer is asking, like, what is this vagina diet? Well, if you're a guy and you're not getting any, and the only thing you can eat is vagina, and you're actually not eating anything out, you're gonna lose a load of weight, right? But like, you could be on like a carnivore diet, looking into your diet, supplementary supplements, that kind of stuff that came up in the last 2 readings. So you really got to follow me in numerology. If you guys are new and you're like, I've got no idea what this blonde idiot is about, trust me, stick in there and you'll understand what my method is. There's a reference between Sagittarius, Taurus, the reading in Sagittarian, the ones that I've basically done today, which is also Scorpio. That can be Aries placements. There is something about supplements, supplementing with, like, I don't know, this vinegar, okay, with the mother, okay, which is apple cider vinegar, or just loads of these, okay, the stomach biome, all that sort of stuff, right? Looking at stomach acids and things and whatnot, okay. Acid. Some of you really could be into like rave music or stuff like that. So let's see, Virgo. What's going on? What's going on with Virgo? Oh dear, Virgo. So the next 48, Virgo. Now, when I did the last reading, okay, I've done the last reading, which was Sagittarian. Watch it. 5, Sagittarius, Taurus, or life path 5. Now, I'm not saying that this is them or Emily, Melissa Maria, but there is some sort of like conflict. Now, watch that reading and see how that represents this one. Because it was a set of cards that led to this card here, okay? Now, I'm doing this reading. This is the first one out, okay? So, someone here could be, I don't know, starting arguments. If there's an energy of like, please don't go, I don't want you to leave me, and you're considering doing so. Or someone is considering you. Or Alchemy or Natalie, there's an energy here of someone having a fight for you to stay or go. Okay, you're going to have to fight for me. If you really want me, you're going to have to fight for me. Okay, if you don't want me to go, you ain't got to fight with me. You've just got to fight for me. Okay, so it could have something around a 4, a Scorpio, or an Aries person, or a life path 4. Okay, this could also be in the family or around where you're working. There could be conflict as well. Okay. Let's see, Virgo. 5 is either family, work, or love interest. It's either way, okay. Wayman, I hear the name Wayman. Wayman, I'm a wayman. Someone could be away. They're not actually here. So there could have been a breakup. There could have been a breakup with someone, and they're not actually here anymore, okay. Or someone's deaf, or Steph or Jeff, Steph. But a breakup, like they can't even hear you. I'm not even here anymore. Or someone's hard of hearing because of so much noise going on. It feels like there's so much noise, definitely in one's head. There's a lot of noise, like static. Like I've got so much to think about and there's so much going on that there just seems to be a lot of static. Like I just can't seem to think straight at the moment because there's a lot going on in my life. There's a lot of static. I can't seem to figure out what I'm doing and where I'm going, and there's just so much to concentrate on here. Okay. Some of you, it could be, I ain't going to go into this because this is where I'll go into some sort of study. I'm going to do this, let's see. Do you realise when you study genetics, right, here we go, Steve, but genetics, right, your genetics will say that you have ADD, bipolar, schizophrenia, paranoia, argumentative, can't think, brain fog, everything else, depression, right? Now, how does that relate to supplements? Supplements, right? It's a break in the genetic code. Your genetic code, if you are not supplementing right, your genetic code will break down. It will start to make your stomach feel, it will give it gas, okay? So through your sphincter, you'll start producing gas in the stomach. The stomach will then make you feel all kinds of shit that will give you brain fog, depression, bipolar, schizophrenia, God knows what else, and you can't concentrate, right? That isn't because if, say, someone says you're gluten, you're gluten, you have to have gluten-free and everything else. It's not that. It's something before that. It's a breakdown in a genetic code that says that you're not supplementing with the right stuff or you're not eating the right foods, okay? So when we look at that, a vibration, okay, if we're not vibing with the right person, that kind of tells you a lot, right? Okay, it's unhealthy. Okay, so something that could be, that you could be doing is unhealthy, that you need to study and go over and think, okay, how do I make myself more healthier? If I can work on myself and make myself more worthy, then I can be a good person for my partner, or I can work on this, or I can fight or flight. This is anxiety that I've been suffering from just lately, panic attacks, but this is the fight or flight. Do I stand around and fight with you, or do I not? Do I just run and avoid the conflict, avoid the argument, avoid settling it? Now, you could be dealing with someone that does that, okay? That they don't stay around long enough in order to be able to deal with the subject at hand, okay? They're quick to just run, okay, because they don't want conflict, which is always good, but it never seems to resolve it. So, if you are going through these break up, split up, get back together, it's really good, then it's really bad, then it's really good, then it's really bad, then it's really good, then it's really bad, and you break up and then you get back together. This is something that you need to look at to implement something more healthy in the relationship, okay? So you need to discuss, how can we get through this without arguing? What is it about me that, say, like, have a 50 Shades of Grey, okay? Have a, like, okay, time out. We're not going to split up, we're just going to have a time out. Or if there's something that you're doing that really annoys me, just say Red Wolf or something like that, okay? And then I'll know to stop doing that, okay? But you got to work on this or you're going. It's kind of one or the other. You're either prepared to work on it or you're out, okay? So it might be an ultimatum that you're kind of thinking about giving someone here. You either work on this or I'm out, okay? Because someone's getting frustrated with the amount of conflict that this could be drawing here. Okay. Could be boring. Okay, some of you haven't got any chemistry with a person here. It's just boring. Like the conversation, it could be, like, it's so important. Conversation is so important to be on the right wavelength. Because it could be like I'm just bored, like I'm fed up and I'm bored, and we don't have anything in common. Okay, common people, Jarvis Cocker. We've got nothing in common. Could be with a Gemini, okay, or a Capricorn, life path 6. But there's like I said, this is a lot of conflict here, okay. So this could be a mother. You have, like, you know, you got kids, blah, blah, blah. Or you argue with your parents, your mother quite a lot, all the time. I'm also hearing Charlotte. But yeah, I always seem to be at conflict with my parents all the time. Always there's a lot of conflict with my parents. And I can't seem to, like, I kind of understand what those people were talking about when they were saying gang stalking. I've heard different references of it, okay, different references of what it is, okay. Because some people believe that there's cameras and surveillance and everybody's watching them, okay, and that is, like, you know, there's an element of that being paranoid. But, like, I do understand what that is because I get it with mine, my mother. She always asks where I'm going, when I'm coming back. Every time I walk out the door, she'll get up and stop doing what she's doing to see what I'm doing when I just want leaving alone. And I want a 5 minutes break. But she won't. And she'll keep doing it. And she'll wait up until I get home. And I'm like, just stop fucking doing all of those things. Stop keeping an eye on me. I don't need you to keep your eyes on me 24 goddamn 7. Every time I walk out the door, every time I come home, you notice that I'm coming home. Every time I walk out the front door, you know that I'm going out. You want to know where I'm going, when I'm coming back. It's someone that constantly, utterly, all the time, keeps an eye on a person. Or they'll just not stop doing it. Okay. So whether that annoys you a lot or not, I don't know. But that could be going on around someone's family. They're always, like I said, if you're a person watching this and you're thinking, no, I love my parents keeping an eye on what I'm doing. Granted, you have that. Me, I don't. I'm an individual. I like to be able to live and think freely, to be able to do or feel what I want. I don't need to explain to anybody. If I have a feeling, I just go with my gut instinct, right? So, like, if I'm being tracked all the time, okay, someone constantly asking me where you doing, what you doing, where you going, when you coming home, when you doing this, blah, blah, blah. I can't stand that. I hate that, okay? So this could be something as simple as that. Now, you can either relate this to a parent, your lover, or your mother. It's up to you, okay? But it will be a karmic experience either way. If your love life's going really well, it will normally be the fact that your family will start, right? If your family settle down, your love life interest will start going to shit. It's a guaranteed fact, okay? You know, when you have an amount of karma, oh, there you are. So you have Libra, okay, for the next 48 hours, Virgo. You have the 4 of Wands. You got the 7 of Wands. And then you got yourselves. This is the only reason I took it, because I see your card here. I wouldn't have normally took so many cards. So you've got obstacles to overcome within this relationship here, because there's definitely a married couple. Definitely a marriage or a long-term commitment. This is people that have been dating and seeing each other for a long time. Okay, so it's either people that are married already, okay, but there are obstacles to overcome here, because you're getting the Seven of Wands. You're getting the teaching segment that I went over of a lesson that I was experiencing at the time a while back. Why I went through it and then put it over on the teaching tier, which was fear of engulfment. Okay, fear of rejection and abandonment, okay, and then fear of engulfment, okay. I don't like to be tied down with you telling me what to do. I don't like it, okay, because it makes me feel as if... So where does that come from? Okay, so when I was a kid, when I was a child, okay, if you get bored of all these sort of things, then I'm not your tarot reader, okay, but or Tara, or Tanya, or Tyler, okay. But when I was a kid, okay, there was so much shit going on in my life when I was a child, with my brother being expelled from school and going on to drugs and absolutely going mad. Because of that, my father was also drinking, okay. So he used to go up the pub every single night and he used to come home drunk. My brother was fucking off the rails, off his nut on God knows how many things, going crazy over on speed and God knows what else. My mother was trying to keep it together. So because I was the youngest pup, I was told to block out what they were doing, right? Which was put headphones on, listen to the music, go up in your room and play on your PlayStation. But I could, or whatever it was, fucking, back then, Commodore 64. But I could hear what's going on downstairs. So basically parents try to not involve their children in what's going on in their relationships. Okay. So we need you, child, to block this out and not pay attention to what we are doing. Okay, what becomes later of that child? Issues around running, not committing, not staying around long enough in a relationship to deal with it. Okay, so when I'm wagging my finger and telling you, look, there's something going on with me that I need your support, and you are not supporting me, you are not giving me money, you are not paying me any attention, you're not doing this. When the opposite person hears that, they run. Right, they run. Why? Because in the younger years, when things were going shit at home and people were told to not listen, not pay attention to what's going on, smoke and mirrors, when they become an adult, they pick that kind of sense up. When there's danger, they use the amygdala of fight or flight. Do I want to stand around listening to this bullshit, or do I just want to not pay you any attention and just completely avoid you altogether? Now, if this is a family situation that is still doing that, that's because the person that's doing it has taught you that all the way through. The person that has been making you do that is the family member that taught you that, right? So if this relates to where the family member, if you've been dealing with a family member for so long that has done that same thing the same way, constantly saying that you're not listening to what I'm saying, I need to know where you're going and what you're doing, or blah, 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 and you get into a lot of arguments with family, or they do, right? They do. It could be because they're still talking to that person and they've not spread their wings and flew away, right? Away from the parenting energy. Now, if they still have a lot of conflict with their family, Johnny, okay, with their family, there's an energy of where now that's kind of an awareness that that is kind of happening within a relationship that is here. Okay. Stop keep pushing me out. Stop keep not letting me in close to you. Why will you not let me in? Why will you not open up and tell me what's wrong? Why will you not be honest with me? Why can you not just commit to me? Okay. And just focus on me. Why can't you just be focused on a couple? Okay, now, sometimes this might be about moving in. Someone wants someone to move in with them, and I went through this a hell of a lot, okay, a hell of a lot, that I wouldn't move in with the partner, okay? So we went through a hell of a lot of shit during that. But what I was it was my fault. It was my fault. Because I wouldn't commit to the person for what they wanted, okay? because it was this defense mechanism that relates to as a child, is to like be isolated, to go upstairs, to put your headphones on, to not listen to what's going on, to isolate yourself away from the problem that we are creating as a family. So we're creating as a family, and we need you to basically keep isolating yourself away to avoid what's going on out there. Too much protection around like children and stuff. Oh my God, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want you to do this. Or what if you have a car accident? What if blah, blah, blah happens? What if that happens? I can't let you make mistakes. I need to stop you from making mistakes. They're actually doing more harm than they are good. Because what they're teaching this person is to isolate themselves away, that they are not capable of living or doing stuff by themselves on their own. Okay, so they have taught this person to isolate, that could have related to like maybe signs of depression and isolation, not wanting to go out so much, not wanting to communicate with people. You see, people that I've said for so long, I was wrong. I digress. I am sorry. I could have taught you the wrong way. When you isolate away from people, you don't get that vitality of life. Why? Because of frequency. When you meet a frequency, when two frequencies match, you go up. Your algorithm spikes. It goes up. You have a spike in adrenaline. You feel really good that you've just spoken to someone. They've made you feel really good. They've made your day. They've given, like some people say, I really needed this reading or this explanation, Steve. Thank you so much. It's made my day. Whatever you want to choose in life, Virgo, it's like that. The connection of two people is an algorithm, and it comes at each other like that. When it does, okay, the algorithm meets, and if it matches, it spikes. If it doesn't, it goes down in spike, okay? So it means that there is something wrong with you. And I can tell by your vibration that when we meet or when we connect or when we speak, it either goes down or it goes up. It's whichever way it is. If there's a spike, okay, then it could be something like insulin, could be sugar, okay, overloading on sugar. There could be a lot of health problems that you're kind of coping with at the moment here within the next 48, but this could be in general. Could be in A&E or in hospital, or you work in a hospital facility or something here. Or you could be researching this kind of stuff. Because Virgos are great researchers. You give anything. I have 3 placements of Virgo, and I'm researching all the time. Not spiritual stuff, just health related things. Okay. But yeah, trying to re-diagnose myself and trying to get myself out of shit and think, right, what can I do better to enhance my performance of a person? What can I do to make myself better? If it be food, then I'm going to have to look at it. Okay. If it be a way of thinking, I'm going to have to look at it. If it be not giving my partner or people time, then I've got to look at that. I've got to give them time. Okay. Can't rush things. I've got to slow down. Right. So I've got to slow down. I've got to think before I act. I've got to think before I speak. Okay. And that could be a general energy here of what you guys are working on as a team. Okay, as a team, you've just got hurdles to go through, that's all, okay? Is to not be so defensive and quick to judge and cut someone off before they have time to finish speaking, okay? If they're asking you for something, allow the person to ask what it is that they feel is wrong, because it's very quick for everybody when you're possibly suffering through signs of PTSD can last for a very long time, and it can be underlying issues that you may have that you don't realize that you have, of actually fear of letting someone really close to you to look after you, because you could have like, yeah, but my mother does that and I don't need her, I don't want her attention, okay, so like I don't need all that attention off you, okay, so I don't really want anybody around me all the time, I need to just be on my own. Okay, so if someone says, look, you know, I just need a break and I need to be on my own, what you need is this password that you have between you and your partner that is a little bit like 50 Shades of Grey, right? It's a word that you say to one another to know to stop the arguments. If there's an argument, we need a timeout. So you could say use time out as a word, right? Okay, time out. Don't say any more. Don't respond anymore. Just give it a day and then we'll re-intervene. But time out. Okay, that means both of you have understood that the time out means do not communicate during a period of whatever it is that you guys set for each other as a goal. Try and work on this goal, okay? Time out. It means 5 hours, no communication, or a day. Give me a day just to relax and think about me. That's it, what I want, right? Without communicating, okay? Or 2, take whatever time you need. But if you keep having these action and responses where someone responds the same as every time that they do, then you need to have this boundary with this person and tell them, right? Physically tell them, you know what? I just need a timeout. I need some time on my own and I don't want you doing this. But if someone's got a fucking high temper and they don't never listen, that's what I'm saying. They probably never will, because I'm trying to, because I'm seeing my own scenario here, if I'm honest, right? And I'm also seeing my own scenario here of a parent, right? My mother is a Gemini, right? She has a Taurus and Sagittarius Moon and North Node in Taurus. So me, I really struggle with that energy, right? And I can tell that person until I'm black and blue in the face. Look, I've asked you nicely, can you not do this because it really annoys me? She does not like criticism. She doesn't like criticism. If you tell someone, even if you tell them nicely and they really don't like that, they'll get even more angry because they don't like being told. Okay, they do not like to be told. Okay, nobody does. But if it's more of a, look, you know, I've asked you nicely, can you not do that? Right, but they get, okay, and get more angry. Then they have anger issues that they need to work on, and you might not be able to, you know, you might not to be able to overcome that hurdle. Okay, you might not be able to do it because they have to do it themselves. Okay, so you could have certain problems that are arising because this can be where this is a relationship and this is a marriage, but there are more other people that are concerned about other people's relationships than they are their own. And this is where you get, why are you more concerned about my relationship than you are your actual single one yourself? Because you're not actually in one. You're not, like, you could say this to a mother. Well, you're single. You ain't with anybody. I am. So why are you more concerned about me? Why can't you actually be more concerned about what's going on in your life than mine? Well, no, you're my main focus. Well, stop doing it because you're focusing too much on me. That's making me fucking want to get the hell out of here because you're making me feel uneasy. You're spending too much time worried about what I'm doing. That's making me feel very nervous because you won't stop looking at me. You won't stop, like, keep following where I'm going, wanting to know. That's too much energy. That's too much focus. When someone is centre of the spotlight and they can end up being like, fuck, I don't want you to keep, like, looking out for me and watching where I'm fucking going. Like, I don't want you to do that. Now, if someone's doing anything devious, because I went through this also being a drug addict many years ago, when there's energy here of distrust, okay, distrust, if someone is doing something that they really should not be doing, then they can ask for time and isolation because they actually don't want you to know that they are doing something that they shouldn't. Now, I can't tell you in this reading, you will need your weekly reading, but you need to know your partner, okay? So when it comes down to, like, distrusting, if you know a person so well that they always do something and they're trying to avoid you, that might be because they're doing something, right? It's down to you guys here. But because I'm picking up that, like, I really don't want you to know what I'm doing. And I really don't want you to, like, be keeping a track of my every movements, right? So, like I said, it depends what goes on in your life to know what it is, why this person doesn't want you to track their movements. Now, that could be cheating and lying in a relationship. That could be drugs, alcohol, or abuse. Or that could just be too much time focusing on me than yourself. But not all this is relationship, because I'm picking up that this be relationship here, and this be maybe either the relationship itself if you're struggling, or it's family. Okay, or it's family. Someone keeping an eye on someone else's. Like when you go through relationships, right? We've all done it. We're all on here, and we split up, and we fucking argue, and then we get back together, and then we don't, and then we do, and then we don't, and then we split up, and then we get back together, and we go through a very big karmic cycle. Who are the people that do not understand that judge? Family, more than likely. More than likely. The couple get back together because they love each other or they want each other, because they're pulled back to one another. So they go their separate ways, they have their life, they have their karmic energy, they realise that their bread and butter isn't as good and the grass isn't as greener on the other fucking side of the earth as what you think that it might be. They have a momentary lapse of reason to think, fuck, you know, I've caused separation and I actually missed the person that I thought was a really good match for me. So you go your own way, you realise that, but when you do that, what do? You tell people. You tell other people. Parents, friends, blah, blah, blah. When a couple get back together, they have to then build up the pieces of every fucker else that then says, I can't believe you've gone and done that. Why would you go and do that? We spent so long trying to mend your broken heart when you split up with Dave, and we realised that he's a narc or anything else going on in his life or hers, and we've tried our best to fucking sort you out, and now you've gone back with that person to do it again. So now not only do you have to deal with the partner, but then you also have to deal with friends and family. Does the karmic cycle ever end? No. No. Well, like I said, unless this is a relationship that you can work on to understand what a woman wants. And trust me, as a guy, it's very difficult for me to admit that. I'll digress. An easy wife, an easy life, easy wife. Easy wife, easy life. Okay? If you can do things for your partner, whatever it is that they want, and you can let go of your ego and think, okay, you want me to do that? Yes, I'll do that for you. I'm prepared to move in. I'm prepared to move out. I'm prepared to fucking mow the lawn. I'm prepared to... I don't give a shit what it is. If you want it, the answer's yes. If you can do that and you're a guy to a woman, Grant, fucking hats off to you. Because I've struggled with that. As God's honest truth, I struggle with being able to fully, constantly think, okay, my most important thing in my life is someone else. What are we taught for ages? Who's the most important person to you? Yourself, right? So then when you become selfish, you then have to learn, okay, if I've got someone in my life, what do I not have to now? Now, what do I have to undo that I've been trying so hard to do? I have to undo it. I have to stop being so selfish, and I have to let other people into my life to help my partner to not be selfish, to not be so self-concerned that it is just me in this life, that I have other people that I have to let close to me. So that's a huge lesson that old Stevie baby has literally gone through himself, is that instead of thinking my work is more important, my people that need messages are more important, okay, what you want comes second. If you want picking up, or you want doing this, or people want that, or they want that, you come second, not first. I do. But when you're in a relationship, you have to learn that if that's what you've been taught to have, you're going to have to learn to undo that. This is where karma's a bitch, okay? Because you can spend so long being independent that you can become so independent that you have to then go back to being slightly codependent with a partner. It's a balance. That's why Virgo is different. Because Virgo means independent and codependent at times. Okay? 9 of Wands, scared, worry. 9 of Pentacles, independent. Okay? 9 of Cups, codependent. 9 of Pentacles, independent. 9 of Cups, 9 of Wands, worried. Feeling lost, down, depressed slightly. 9 of Pentacles, really good. Really healthy. Feeling really good today. Okay? That's 9s all over the place. That's Virgo, right? So what you've got is this learning to support one another if you can. To come to some kind of, if you need some space, I'll give you it. If you ask for it, I'll give you it. If you want me to do this, I'll give you it. If it makes you happy, I'll do it. Okay, so that's what you've got for your next 48 hours, Virgo. Okay, if you want your weekly reading, you will have to go over to Patreon. I really hope that you guys do consider stop being so tight-fisted, Virgo. Get your dollars out, bruv. Steve needs feeding, right? So if there's a myth that YouTube pays me a lot of money, it doesn't. I can guarantee you that YouTube does not pay my house and everything. It doesn't pay for that, no. What pays for that is Patreon. Is Patreon and the join button, by the way, but below. But they're the only two things that pay me, okay, the most. So if you guys consider, what you get is loads of stuff back. So silver or gold tier. Silver tier has all the weeklies, all the monthlies. So that's where your weekly is. It was done yesterday and it is out now. Okay, you'll always get it in advance before you get an X48 on here. You will get channel messages whenever I have them. Okay. The gold tier has the same, but it has all the teaching videos, 65 videos. There are going to be more that are done this month when I get around to doing it. If you want to join the join button, okay, join the joyride, then I am just about to post either today or tomorrow a post to say, okay, everybody, leave your name and your partner's name and your questions that you want answering, but they are only just a few cards. It's not a full fucking reading. It's just a few cards to try and explain what you might be going through. It's best to just ask me, how does someone think and feel about me, if I'm honest? Okay, because it's literally like 5 or 6 cards. Okay, if you want a big one and a proper one, then you need to pay for that, and that's below with the email. But if you want to join, the join button, you get free questions and answers on the post. Then you also get a glittery star, and you look really fucking important when you come up in the chat, and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm with somebody, and I'm really important on Steve's channel. And it makes you look green, and everything else is good. And you get fucking glittery stars and shit, right? Oh, that makes you look really good. And then you also get random readings that I throw, and then you also get, don't tell anybody, but you also get the odd video that I throw over there for you guys as a surprise to say thank you for joining, and you get good videos. So if you want to know what those videos are, then you will need to join the joyride of the join button. It's only $2 or $3. If you're wanting your questions and answers, then you need to join today, because it'll probably be tomorrow or the next day when I post up. Okay, so thanks very much, guys. Really, I'll do that throughout the whole week and the whole month. But if you missed the first one, you have to wait until I post again. Okay, so thanks very much, guys. Really appreciate it. All links are provided below, and I'll see you next time.